One man came back alive, the only one who marched side by side with the gods despite being a human, and the one who went the furthest in the tower, Kim Yu-won, and he brings the news. They're all dead. One of the hunters asks, even Merlin, Asura, and Vishnu are dead? And Kim says yes. Wukong hits his staff on the floor and shouts that this is not over. But Hercules tells the immortal, who's on the brink of death, that he speaks big but couldn't act so mighty in front of the outer gods. Even he, who was an Olympus hero, had no chance. Everyone there was scared that the position they held would eventually be found, and everyone wiped out, until a strange orb hits the floor, and Wukong asks what that is. Kim says this was foolish chaos, one of the outer gods, and having one against one, he's now sure. They from the earth, known as inners, could not beat the outers. He finally found a way, but now it's too late. That's when Kronos appears and says that there is a way, returning to the old world line and starting over. The only problem is, in the world he returns to, Kronos will not exist. That's the price for him to go back to when everything began. But he tells everyone that this is his reason for being alive. It would be better to end things there if possible, but the final chance has come. Kim then asks who's going back, and suddenly every god turns to him. He asks why not son Wukong, who replies that the boy was one of the last to enter the tower. Yet he adapted faster than anyone else. Hercules reminds him, beings of the upper floors are restricted in how they can intervene, so only he who starts at the bottom has a real chance to make a difference. The gods now know they will not have the same relationship, and that he will have a very hard time, but if anyone has a chance to win against those gods, it's him. And Kim, with no other option, accepts, saying that they really are never short of words. With that, Kronos' clock spins and time begins to rewind itself. As everything fades to light, Kim stares at his hands, confused. His body was strangely heavy, and all his arcane power gone. He thought that he would have his old body, but suddenly his thoughts are interrupted by a fist smashing into his face. The blondie is impressed that he actually withstood that, but Kim is confused. He barely knows who this guy is, but seeing the university shirts, he remembers where they are. As the blondie punches, he dodges while asking what day it is. The guy loses his temper and tells him to shut up, just to get a bomb to the chin while Kim is thinking about how much time is left until the tutorial begins. Then it hits him. It's starting today. He has 9 hours left before the tutorial begins. The date is December 31st, 2019, at 8 p.m. He's in Hongdae. Back then, this place was packed with people. The blonde bully is furious after getting hit back. With so many people around, he can't even spot his friends. A moment later, they find him and call him over, asking why he took so long. That reminds him why he had gone to campus just to beat up the mecha moot. But for the first time, the mecha fought back. He even said he remembered him now, calling him a pathetic loser who came to campus during vacation just to pick a fight. Still on the ground, the bully remembers the mech saying he deserved worse, but there was no point wasting time on him. The bully thinks the mech has gone crazy, talking about things he couldn't understand and swears he'll make him pay. Later, he lies to his friends, bragging that he beat the mech so badly he's probably in the hospital. One of them jokes that if they keep pushing him like that, he might kill himself. The bully shrugs it off and says he wouldn't care. No one would miss him anyway. Then they spend the night drinking until everyone is wasted. At one point, someone checks the time. It's 11:50. The mech returns and sees the streets still crowded. Off in the distance, the bully's group is partying, waiting for 2020 to begin. They go for another round, and the bully tells them to hurry before he gets too drunk. Then he checks his phone and sees midnight is close. One of his friends suddenly spots someone coming and points out the mech, the same guy the bully claimed he had destroyed. The mech walks through the crowd, carrying a large bag. One friend jokes that the mech looks perfectly fine for someone who was supposedly half dead, then asks what's in the bag. Right there, the bully's lie starts to fall apart. Everyone is about to realize he was the one who got wrecked, and that makes him furious. So he finally makes his move. He storms after the mech and tells his friends to come with him, so the 4 of them can jump him. The mech doesn't even stop. He walks right past them and the bully calls out to him, telling him to wait. The mech turns back, looks him in the face and asks what he wants. Then he asks why he's here. People nearby start noticing trouble is about to break out. The mech ignores all of them and takes off his watch. He tells the 4 guys it's almost midnight so they should enjoy their last 3 minutes. After that, hell begins. Then he tosses the watch to the ground. The bully marches up, cursing at him and telling him to stop talking nonsense, but the mech just opens his bag. The second the bag opens, the bully nearly jumps out of his skin. Inside is a backpack full of knives, and his friends instantly think the mech has snapped. Now they're terrified, and they beg the bully to apologize right away. The group quickly backs down, admitting they were wrong and asking the mech to let it go. But the mech pulls out an axe. Everyone starts pleading with him, saying it was just a stupid joke and that the bully is sorry. He barely listens. His only concern is how crowded this place is because he knows what's coming. Then he kicks the bag, sending the weapons toward the group. After that, he stops and starts counting down, knowing it begins now. Only 1 second remains. That final second feels endless. Then midnight arrives on January 1st, 2020. Everyone suddenly feels crushing pressure in their heads, along with a loud ringing in their ears. At the same time, the whole city is covered in beams of light and glowing pink markings. With a grin, the mech tells the bully his 3 minutes are up. Welcome to hell. The bully still has no idea what he's talking about. Then a system message appears. Sector 20131. Total population, 12,014. The system announces that the tutorial is starting now. The first test is survival. They must live through a zombie horde. This first tutorial lasts 30 minutes. After that, every zombie will disappear. Then thousands of zombies appear all at once. People panic, wondering if they're real, but the mech already knows they are, and there are a lot of them. He understands why the number is so huge. The tutorial's difficulty scales with the population in each sector, so a crowded place like this gets a brutal setup. The balance here is completely against the survivors. Without hesitation, the mech opens his status window. He's done this before. He also knows no one can escape, since the city has been split into separate sectors. After that, he pulls an old knife from his inventory. He knows this whole place is about to turn into a bloodbath. The system also tells everyone they can now check their stats. The system gives people starting gear, but most of it is trash. Some unlucky guy gets nothing but a hammer to fight zombies with. The mech tosses aside the useless knife the system gave him. Before, surviving the first tutorial was enough for him. Not anymore. So he takes out a knife from his bag and gets it ready with practiced hands. Looking at the sharpened blade, he decides he's ready to begin the slaughter. Then he bursts forward at full speed. The first zombie doesn't even have time to react before his blade takes its head off in one strike. Right away, the system announces that he is the first person in the area to kill a zombie and rewards him with 100 points. The kill also gives him a huge amount of experience, and he levels up immediately. As he levels up, he feels it at once. His body grows lighter, and the mech keeps going, cutting down every zombie in his path. His level keeps rising fast too. Not a single swing is wasted. Every hit kills, heads are flying everywhere. People watching from far away start thinking the zombies must be weak. Since Charlie is tearing through them so easily, they gather their courage and rush in too. One extra gets fired up and charges a zombie. He brings his weapon down with all his strength, sure the hit will finish it. But it does nothing. The zombie's skin is too tough, and the blade barely goes in. He can't understand it. Charlie was wiping them out so easily, right beside him. Then a loud scream cuts through the chaos. Charlie turns and sees a zombie biting into that man's neck. Seeing that, the protagonist realizes normal strength isn't enough. Charlie explains the zombies are slow and weak, but they're hard to kill. Early on, they don't feel pain at all. One by itself isn't much, but a whole group is deadly. He knows some people will survive and keep climbing the tower, but plenty won't make it. Charlie goes for another zombie, but this time his attack doesn't work. Annoyed, he smacks it away and realizes the coating on his blade has worn off. So he opens his bag again. Zombies are tough, but they do have one weakness. He pulls out another bottle like before and tosses it up. Then he slices it open and coats his knife with the stuff again. That reminds him of his first run through the tutorial. Back then, he met a weak man with no talent, but the guy had luck on his side. He worked at a salt factory and happened to be carrying salt, and that's how Charlie learned it. Salt is a zombie's weakness. Rub it on a blade or throw it at them, and they die fast. Soon, Charlie pulls off something crazy. He kills 100 zombies in under 10 minutes. The protagonist is rewarded with 3 unassigned stat points he can place anywhere. The system gives the usual notice explaining it. Standing in the middle of the slaughter, the mech is shocked. He didn't know the tutorial could give bonus unassigned points. For a second, he thinks about using them now, but he knows what's coming next, so he saves them. He doesn't need extra stats just to kill zombies. With only 10 minutes left in the first phase, the protagonist decides to find the biggest pack he can. He hears a massive zombie cries somewhere else and heads that way, knowing a huge crowd is gathered there. At that spot, Pet Noirin is struggling hard against just one zombie. Even with its face smashed up, the thing keeps coming because it can't feel pain. Pet Noirin can't stop thinking about it. He's having a brutal time against one zombie, while Charlie was killing them one after another with a single hit. He figures Charlie's secret must be his weapon, and thinks that if he had Charlie's blade, he'd have dropped dozens by now. Then the zombie in front of Pet Noirin starts twisting out of shape and lets out an even louder scream. Pet Noirin kicks it away. His friends run up, but things look even worse than before. They're surrounded. More and more zombies keep closing in. No matter how many they kill, the number only grows. Pet Noirin asks if anyone knows where Charlie went, because staying near him might be their only chance to live. Pet Noirin glances back and sees the ring of zombies tightening. He keeps wondering where Charlie is. He looked away for 1 second, and now they're already on top of him. He barely has time to react. At the last second, he manages to strike one. But the zombie's tough skin holds, and Pet Noirin's weapon finally breaks. Now he knows he's in real trouble. As the whole mob closes in, he starts thinking this is the end. He curls up to protect himself. Then something strange happens. The zombies begin to melt. He opens his eyes and sees all the zombies around him dissolving. One of his friends yells that something is falling from the sky onto them. Pet Noirin looks up and sees a thin white dust dropping over the horde. He reaches out and catches some in his hand. Then for some reason he tastes it and realizes it's salty. It's salt. The protagonist is up on the rooftops, leaping from building to building and raining salt down on the zombies.